Hi guys, for today we're going to talk about acting basics. Now, it is said to be that acting is a presumptive art. Now, who would imagine that an actor can abandon his or her own personal self and become someone else, even if it is for a short period of time? Now, the streets that he or she came from, his or her job or family, conversations of the day, now all of this must be left behind in order to caught up in the life of the character that he or she is portraying or creating. Now, there are four basic elements of the process of acting. We have relaxation, concentration, imagination, and preparation. Now, this lecture will focus only on the four elements. Okay, so let's dig in deeper with each and every one of them. So first, you have relaxation. Now, relaxation is the first part of the process and the essential base to all quality acting and exploration. It opens the instrument of the actor, meaning both the body and the mind. Now, relaxation is said to be the foundation of acting. Now, all work stems from it. And there is no possible way to reach the second step of acting, which is concentration, without being relaxed. There is no way that an actor can open without minimizing his body tension. So, before acting in itself, you have to be in a constant state of being relaxed. Because, of course, tension removes concentration. So, the less tense you are, the better your acting will be. And, of course, that's vice versa. The more tense you are, now, the more fake or manufactured your acting will be. Now, it is said that, of course, again, tension is the enemy of the actor. If an actor is not relaxed in front of the camera, his work will be false and uncomfortable. Now, the camera may focus only on the face or the portion of the body at times, but the entire body must be relaxed in order for the actor to produce honest, quality work. Now, in film, it is said that film work essentially is eyeball acting, meaning the camera catches the truth in the emotions of the eyes of the actors. If an actor makes love to a camera, then of course the camera will make love back to the actor. But if there is body tension, then there will be inevitably a block of emotions. The camera will see it and capture it and reject the actor, like a jilted lover who has been lied to so many times. So again, the camera is very honest. It only shows you or it only records what it sees. So as an actor, you have to project honesty and you have to project the illusion of being real. But you can only do that if you are in a state of non-tension or if you are in a state of being relaxed. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Strasberg's chair exercise. Okay, now, Lee Strasberg is often considered as the father of method acting in America. Now, according to author Mel Gussow, from the 1920s all the way to 1982, when he died, he revolutionized the art of acting by having a profound influence on the performance in American theater and film. Okay, now Lee Strasberg created an exercise for the actors to use in order for them to relieve tension. Now, the sample of this exercise is uploaded in the supplementary video that I posted in Module 3. Okay? Now, Strasberg's basic exercise starts with an actor sitting in a chair or on a chair and working through the body on one section at a time. Now, the actor explores the body starting with checking the toes, and then the calves, and then the thighs, the pelvic region, torso, neck, face, arms, and hands. So, in a way, it focuses on the lower extremities all the way to the upper one. As he explores each region, he flexes, or if an actor explores each region, he or she must flex the muscles slightly and then release them. Now, the entire exercise is very thorough, and it includes slow neck rolls and raising limbs, then letting the limbs drop to eliminate tension and excess muscularity. This warm-up takes about 45 minutes to go through thoroughly. Again, I have posted a sample video, or in a way an instructional video for you to practice Strasberg's chair exercise. Again, this is used for relaxation. Now, in a way, there are a lot of relaxation exercises that you can use depending on the time that you have, the capability, even the location. And as an actor, you can choose one or two or even three or even a lot that works for you. Okay? Now, the point of relaxation exercises is basically to remove the unnecessary tension in your body while converting it into energy that you can use in a performance. So, in a way, the tension or the stress that you're feeling before an acting situation, or let's say an acting scene, can actually be converted to energy that you can use to power your performances. Okay? But in order for you to use that emotion, of course, you have to relax. You have to master your emotions, and then you have to basically remain in the state of calm. Okay? And of course, knowing that that energy is there, you can actually use that energy to create a more convincing performance. Next is concentration. Concentration helps create the element of the character's life and make it real. So concentration is total ability to the other actors. Total availability to the other actors to outside stimuli such as props and sets and even the mishaps that can happen. Okay? In a stage or in a set, and to the actor's own feelings. So basically, when you say concentration, in a way, you're becoming self-aware that you are inhibiting another person's personality, hence the character that you are portraying. Now, concentration helps create the elements of the character's real life. Okay? So again, it helps create elements of the character's life and make it real. So contrary to popular belief, acting is not a natural process. We can only strive to make it look like it is. Once the actor is properly relaxed and prepared to fully use his body and voice, then we are ready to go to various exercises that help him go to the next level, which is imagination. Okay? So you have to concentrate first. You have to be aware that, again, you are inhabiting another person's personality. It's not reflecting your own personality to camera, but actually hiding your personality and portraying the personality of the character. Of course, you can only do that if you are constantly reminding yourself that you are in this character. Hence comes, what do you call this? Hence comes the faithfulness of your performance. But again, this is not natural for us as human beings, di ba? This is not natural for us to lie in a way or pretend to be someone else. Okay? So, of course, we have our own personality, but again, if you inhabit another person's personality or if you inhabit a character's personality, then you're pretending. And the point is that you have to pretend so beautifully that the audience can believe that you are not you, but you are the person or the character that you are portraying. Now, there is one goal you need to emphasize over and over in terms of concentration. Okay? It is the actor must give the illusion that he is being private while in a very public place. Okay? In a way, you remove what you are seeing in front of you. Okay? It's as if the camera doesn't exist. It's as if other people behind the camera, the production crew, the choreographers, the cinematographers, even the director doesn't exist anymore because you are portraying a character that you want to portray. So, you fabricate this kind of personality. Hence, being or showing the audience the illusion of being private. But as you know, there are a lot of things happening behind the camera. Now, also, when you talk about concentration, you have to be aware of the senses. Okay? A clear and perceptive mind is a major importance in interpreting a role. But our sensitivity and instincts must also be involved. Otherwise, we merely create a walking and talking head, devoid of real emotions. So, acting seems fake to an observer if that happens, if you're just delivering the lines, okay, and doing the movements. Okay? The actor must be able to return to an almost childlike experience of heightened self-awareness of all the five senses. So what are these? Of course, you have the olfactory senses or the smell, and the sound, taste, sight, and touch. Now, in order to fully achieve the level of concentration that appears real, so in a way, the pretension must be there, but it has to look real. If, for example, you are smelling smoke because the scene calls for it, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be a real smoke there, but because you are fooling even your senses that you smell smoke, so your acting becomes more believable. So it's the same way, or it's the same thing with sound, taste, sight, and even touch, right? Now, for example, superhero movies or actors that do superhero movies constantly or always act using the green screen, right? Using imaginary people or imaginary subjects to act with. Okay? So, they have to really believe that, let's say, Thanos is there in front of them. Or, let's say, they have to really believe that there is a monster or a ghost in front of them so that they can pretend to see that monster or ghost or whoever it is that will be added during the editing process via computer generation, right? So, imagine not just with your mind, but also with your senses. Speaking of imagination, now imagination is based on the subconscious and is the key to what makes acting real. When your body is relaxed and the mind is clear and focused, the actor can access the subconscious where the spontaneous impulses comes from. In terms of subconscious, imagination is subconscious, or what we call the inner life. And this is what makes good acting seems real. The senses that help with concentration and work to stimulate the imagination and create a sense of reality. Now, obviously, the most direct way of working with the senses is through direct simulation. Is again, you imagining a person or a monster in front of you, or you directly stimulating yourself, for example, when you are in pain or when you are cold, okay? Or you when you're hungry. So it's direct stimulation. Again, this is in relation to the five senses pa din. Okay? If an actor is supposed to be sick from the smell of garbage, for example, it would be convenient to carry a bag of rotten compost, di ba? So it's okay if you if for example you are acting and you are bothered by the smell. Okay? So you can actually carry rotting compost, or you can place a rotting compost somewhere on the set so that the actor can relate or can react to that particular smell. Okay? But of course, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. So it is up to the actor, of course, to leave or to make the audience believe that there is a rotting garbage or that something smells so bad, okay, in that particular scene. But working in this manner, of course, isn't always practical, nor is it necessary. Diba? If, for example, you are in the set with the rotting garbage, so of course it smells and it will be all over the place. So might as well just remove it for convenience sake so that everybody will be comfortable, and it's you as an actor, diba, will be the one responsible to imagining or acting it out. Okay? Now, accessing every actor has a rich imagination to work from. But the challenge is how to tap on it or how to access that particular imagination. Now, accessing the imagination for acting purposes is not much different from the imaginative games or the imaginary games that children play. So it's the same thing. Remember when you are trying or you're playing make-believe when you are children, it's actually the same thing as acting as well. Now, for example, when a child is playing house, there's a whole life that is temporarily part of the child's reality. Okay? The blankets become their houses, the chairs become their caves or houses, or diba? Candy wrappers become their food. Diba? It becomes a stimulation of the mind. So in a way, to access it, you have to access your inner child. Okay, even for example, Play-Doh becomes, or even mud becomes pie. And the reality of a monster being in front of you or behind you. Diba? The fear that you feel, the adrenaline that you feel in imagining that there is a monster chasing you. So it's the same thing actually. So you have to tap into that to that inner child that you have, or the inner memories of the inner child from your memories, okay, to deliver a believable acting performance. Okay, preparation also means that I'm sorry. Next is preparation. Okay, meaning the work necessary ahead of time to properly do or exercise. Okay, preparation means everything involved in the acting process. Okay, whether it is collecting props, exploring your character, analyzing your script, or even memorizing your lines. Now, preparation is as essential as the other three elements. Now, for example, in the initial relaxation, concentration, and imagination, will not do an actor any good if he is stumped by or interrupted by a misplaced prop. Diba? Or can't remember what he is supposed to say or she is supposed to say. Okay? So even if all the things happen, or even if the actor has his or imagination, he is relaxed, he is concentrating, but of course, he or she must prepare also. The actor must learn the lines, the actor must learn the movements pa din. Okay? The minute that he or she goes up with the words and relaxation, concentration, and imagination will disappear as well. Diba? Meaning, the minute that the actor forgets the lines, then everything is thrown out. So, the relaxation, he's not going to be relaxed, or he or she is not going to be relaxed anymore. The imagination will be snapped out of him. Why? Because he cannot remember, or she cannot remember his or her lines. Diba? So, preparation is very important pa din in acting. Okay? Now, study is where you put all components into play. So, what this is trying to say, or what I'm trying to say is that, diba, you have to know your lines. You have to read your script. You have to memorize it in order for you to explore your performance in it. Okay? So, you will not, it's very unprofessional pati for an actor not to memorize or not to know his or her lines. Okay? So, you have to prepare. And it's not just about knowing lines. It's exploring the character, for example. Diba? It's preparing for your costume. It's preparing for your hair and makeup. That's all included in the preparation process. Now, proper preparation and training are absolutely necessary for the success of the acting world, or in the acting world. Training, be it body or vocal or both. Okay, so when you say training, or when you say preparation, it's training your body as well. It's training for a performance. Now, you can actually compare this to a skill also that an athlete has. Diba? While some individuals may have a strong inclination towards acting than others, okay, or some individuals are more talented in acting compared to others. Few actually succeed in acting or in the acting world without working at it. Again, the Olympic or professional athletes, for example, must train. The skills musicians must rehearse, for example. For musicians, they must rehearse and rehearse in order for them to perfect their tempo, their timing, etc. Okay? Even carpenters, okay, and any person with skilled jobs spends hours of their lives learning the techniques that they are going to use in carpentry or in the skilled work that they're going to do. Okay? So that's the reason why they say acting is a craft. Okay? Of course, you can be born or you can be talented, but that talent must be honed into a craft. Okay? So, acting being a craft, of course, it requires, okay, or even it demands rigorous training or rigorous practice for the actors. Now, also, preparation refers to numerous aspects of the process. From the mundane, for example, memorization, script and text analysis, or even just prop gathering. Okay? To the more complex preparations like sensory work, relaxation routines, vocal productions, or even emotional work, exploring your character. Now, all parts of the preparatory process are important, especially self-rehearsal and practice. Whether we're talking about playing a part or playing for one of the exercises or the scenes in a class, to produce quality work, an actor must have access to emotional reality from the imagination, but it will mean nothing if the lines aren't memorized, the voice isn't heard, and other actors and crew aren't prepared for the actor's movements, or the body is locked up that none of the imagination work comes through. Diba? Even if you have the talent, if you do not practice, or if you do not know the lines, or if you do not know the movements, the chances are your talent will be overshadowed by your unpreparedness or your unprofessionality. Okay? So, this actually ends my short lecture on the basic elements of the acting process. So, for questions, you can send them via course message, private message, or even during our synchronous sessions. Now, thank you for watching and keep safe. Remember to follow the health protocols and always take care of your health and your physical and your mental health. Thank you very much. And always check your BBL for updates and announcements. Okay? I will see you in my next video lecture. Keep safe.